Have you ever looked at someone else's success and felt a quiet sting in your chest? That whisper that says, "They're ahead of me. I'm not good enough." That's exactly what Ravi went through every single day. Ravi was a hard-working young man with dreams just like everyone else. But somewhere along the way, his focus shifted from his goals to other people's achievements. Every morning before brushing his teeth, he'd open his phone and scroll through social media. There it was. Endless pictures of people smiling with new cars, traveling to exotic places, showing off promotions, and celebrating success. He would stare at those images and think, "I'm trying so hard, but I'm still nowhere near them." That one thought became a poison that quietly spread into every part of his life. He stopped enjoying his progress. He stopped being proud of how far he had come. Each post, each comparison chipped away at his confidence, piece by piece. One night, Ravi sat alone, staring blankly at his phone. His father walked in, noticing the sadness in his son's eyes. He sat beside him and asked, "What's bothering you, son?" Ravi sighed. "Everyone seems to be moving ahead, and I'm just stuck." His father smiled gently and said, "Son, have you ever seen a rose compare itself to a sunflower? They both bloom beautifully, just not at the same time." Those simple words struck something. Deep within Ravi, it was as if a light switched on inside his heart. For the first time, he realized that he had been so busy watching other people's journeys, that he had forgotten to live his own. That moment became the spark that would change everything. The next morning, Ravi woke up with his father's words echoing in his mind. "A rose doesn't compare itself to a sunflower." Those words stayed with him like a quiet melody he couldn't forget. For the first time in months, he didn't open his phone as soon as he woke up. Instead, he stepped outside, breathed in the morning air, and asked himself, "What if I just focused on me?" At first, it wasn't easy. His mind still wandered to what others were doing, the promotions, the vacations, the perfect lives online. But slowly, Ravi began to build new habits. He made a rule: no social media before breakfast. Instead, he spent those minutes writing down what he was grateful for and what he wanted to achieve that day. Every small win started to feel big again. Completing a task, learning something new, even just being consistent with his morning routine. All these things gave him a quiet sense of satisfaction that comparison had stolen from him. One evening, while jogging in the park, Ravi noticed something beautiful. There were dozens of flowers blooming around him, each one different, each one thriving in its own time. He smiled, realizing that this was life's way of teaching him again. Everyone blooms in their own season. From that day forward, he stopped chasing other people's timelines and started respecting his own journey. He understood that true progress isn't about being faster than someone else. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. And in that realization, Ravi found peace. Not the kind that comes from success or recognition, but the kind that comes from finally accepting yourself and exactly as you are, and exactly where you're meant to be. Months passed, and Ravi had completely transformed, not just on the outside, but deep within. He no longer felt the constant anxiety of comparing his life to others. Instead, he woke up every morning with a quiet sense of purpose. His goals were now personal, not a competition. One day, while sitting at his favorite cafe, he saw an old friend walk in. This friend used to be one of the people Ravi compared himself to, the one with the fancy job and perfect social media posts. They talked for a while, and Ravi noticed something surprising. His friend wasn't as happy as he appeared online. Behind the pictures and smiles, he too was tired. Tired of keeping up appearances. Tired of pretending. That's when it truly hit Ravi. Everyone is fighting their own silent battles. What you see on the surface is never the full story. Some people might be ahead in one part of life, but behind in another. Some might look strong, but are struggling inside. Ravi realized that comparing himself to others was like comparing the sun and the moon, both beautiful, both powerful, but meant to shine at different times. Life isn't a race. It's a journey, and each person's path unfolds in its own rhythm. From that day, he promised himself no more comparison. He would admire others, learn from them, but never let their success make him feel small. He understood that his story was still being written, and that every chapter, no matter how slow, had value. Ravi finally looked at his reflection and smiled, not because he had achieved everything, but because he had stopped measuring his worth through others. He whispered to himself, "My time will come. Until then, I'll keep growing my way." And for the first time, he truly felt free.